So, horror fans, we've finally reached the end of an era. The Conjuring Last Rites just dropped, and it's not just another spooky installment in the franchise. This one is bittersweet, emotional, and absolutely packed with meaning. Not only does it wrap up the terrifying Smurl family haunting, but it also closes the chapter on Ed and Lorraine Warren's cinematic story, while opening the door for what comes next in the Conjuring Universe. Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. If you've seen the movie, you already know it's scary, heartfelt, and full of callbacks to everything that made this franchise iconic. But let's break down exactly what happens in that ending, what the post-credit scene means, and how the Conjuring universe could continue after this farewell to the Warrens. What happens in The Conjuring Last Rites? At its core, Last Rites centers on a mysterious haunted mirror that wreaks havoc on the Smurl family. Like with the Perrons, like with the Enfield case, this haunting goes way beyond flickering lights and bumps in the night. It's violent, deeply personal, and it quickly ties back to the Warrens in ways they never saw coming. The big twist? This isn't just another random cursed object. The mirror has a direct connection to Ed and Lorraine's daughter Judy. From the very beginning, we see hints that this mirror demon has been lurking in the shadows of Judy's life, going all the way back to the day she was born. Creepy, right? The Warrens investigate the Smurl haunting, but things escalate quickly when Judy herself becomes the target. For years, Judy has struggled with visions, shadows, and terrifying experiences. But here, the film makes it clear, those weren't just random brushes with the paranormal. They were the mirror demon circling her like a predator, waiting for its chance. When the mirror is brought into the Smurl home, the entity seizes the opportunity to strike. What's clever is how the movie uses three tormented spirits, an elderly woman, her violent daughter, and an axe-wielding husband, as pawns of the mirror demon. These spirits are scary on their own, but they're really just puppets being controlled by something far more sinister. The climax is intense. Judy becomes fully possessed, the mirror itself becomes a weapon, and Ed, Lorraine, and Judy's fiancé Tony are forced into a desperate last stand. But instead of relying on just prayers or holy water, this time it takes something deeper. The combination of Judy's inherited abilities, Lorraine's gift, and Ed's unwavering faith. Together, they manage to trap the demon back in the mirror, ending the Smurl haunting once and for all. And with that, the Warrens close their final case. The Warrens' ending explained. Here's where things get emotional. The Warrens don't door out in tragedy. They don't fall victim to the demon, and they don't end in despair. Instead, Last Rites gives Ed and Lorraine something rare in horror, a happy ending. After the battle, we see the Smurl family freed of their torment. But the film shifts focus to Judy's wedding with Tony. There, in a scene bathed in soft golden light, we see Ed and Lorraine dancing. It's not just a romantic beat, it's symbolic. For all the horrors they've faced, for all the demons and darkness, their story ends in love, family, and light. Then comes Lorraine's vision. For the first time, we see her glimpse a peaceful future. She and Ed enjoying retirement, writing books, teaching, watching Judy grow, marry, and eventually raising grandchildren. Yes, the film acknowledges reality. Ed's health issues, his stroke, his eventual passing, and Lorraine's own death not long after. But the tone isn't tragic. It's uplifting. Their legacy isn't just about fighting demons. It's about protecting their family and leaving behind something beautiful. And honestly, that final shot of the Warrens dancing at Judy's wedding might just be one of the most perfect send-offs in modern horror. It's a farewell that feels earned after 4 Conjuring films, 3 spin-offs, and years of terrifying stories. The post-credit scene. What does it mean? But, of course, this wouldn't be a Conjuring movie without one last spooky touch. After the credits roll, we get a quick but chilling post-credit scene. Archival footage of the real Ed and Lorraine Warren plays during the credits, giving us a reminder that these films were inspired by actual people. But then, the final stinger. A single shot of the real Ed Warren standing in front of the haunted mirror that inspired the story. We're told that this artifact is still kept in the Warrens Occult Museum. And then comes the kicker. It's identified as a conjuring mirror, a tool once used by people attempting to summon spirits. This one little moment ties everything together. It blurs the line between the dramatized story we just watched and the real-world mythology of Ed and Lorraine's lives. It also leaves us with an eerie sense that the mirror demon isn't entirely gone. After all, if the real mirror still exists, maybe so does the entity within. Who or what was the mirror demon? One of the biggest questions fans had going in was about the villain. We've had Bathsheba in the first Conjuring, Valak the nun in the second, and the occultist in the third. Each one had a face, a name,
a presence. But here, the mirror demon stays mostly in the shadows. That's a bold choice. We never get a clear name for it. We never even see its true form. Instead, it manifests through illusions, possessions, and those terrifying spirit puppets. At one point, it even uses the image of Annabelle to torment the Warrens, reminding us that every cursed object in this universe is connected somehow. What makes the mirror demon so creepy isn't how it looks, but what it does. It can manipulate reality. It can recreate its own mirror even after it's been destroyed. It can force glass shards into people's bodies. And it has the patience to wait decades for the perfect moment to strike. That long game makes it feel even more sinister. And its real target was never the Smurls. It was always Judy. From the night of her birth, when Lorraine saw it crawling across the hospital room, the mirror demon has been fixated on her. Judy being stillborn and then revived? The film implies the demon caused that, trying to claim her soul. But Lorraine's prayer saved her. That unfinished business is why it kept coming back. So while the Smurls endured horrifying events, they were really just collateral damage in the demon's attempt to finally get to Judy. Why the mirror demon works as a final villain. Some fans might be disappointed that we don't see a huge demonic monster at the end like Valak. But in a way, that's what makes the mirror demon work. It represents more than just another scary face. It's tied to Judy's life. It's been there since the beginning. And it forces the Warrens to face not just another case, but their biggest fear, losing their daughter. By defeating it together, the Warrens get closure not just for this haunting, but for their entire journey. It's not about the scariest demon, it's about the most personal one. How the Conjuring Universe could continue. So, with Ed and Lorraine's story wrapped, is this the true end of The Conjuring? Not exactly. The most obvious direction is Judy. By the end of the film, she has fully embraced her psychic gift. She's accepted that she can sense and fight demonic presences just like her mom. Imagine a new trilogy where Judy and Tony take up the mantle, protecting their own family while dealing with the fallout of the cursed artifacts in the Warrens' museum. There are also plenty of threads from the spin-offs to explore. Annabelle, the nun, the crooked man who was once teased but never fully explored. The basement full of artifacts is basically a treasure chest of horror stories waiting to be told. And don't forget, the Conjuring films have always pulled from real-world cases. There are dozens of Warren investigations that haven't even been touched yet. Just because Ed and Lorraine's cinematic story has ended doesn't mean the universe can't dive into those cases with new characters. Our nerdy thoughts. The Conjuring Last Rites is both a farewell and a beginning. It's the last chapter for Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga as Ed and Lorraine Warren, and it gives them the rarest gift in horror, a happy ending. But at the same time, it teases a bigger universe still full of cursed objects, sinister demons, and haunted families. The mirror demon might not be as iconic as Valak, but its connection to Judy and its reality-bending powers made it a fitting final test for the Warrens. And that post-credit scene? It's the perfect reminder that while the Warren story has ended, the supernatural forces they battled are still out there. So what do you think? Did Last Rites give Ed and Lorraine the send-off they deserved? Do you want to see Judy take the lead in future films? And how creepy was that mirror demon compared to the nun? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more deep dives into the world of horror cinema. Because if The Conjuring has taught us anything, it's that just when you think the story is over, something else is always waiting in the dark.